Hello and welcome to Catalyst. I was going to say Catalyst Happy Hour-ish, but I realise we are also on YouTube for this, so I can't introduce it just as the podcast name. But welcome to Catalyst Youth UK with me, Anthony.
And me, Darren.
And we are celebrating 1 year of Catalyst Youth UK this week. It has been 1 year since we started this movement, and hopefully you'll hear some sort of Stevie Wonder happy birthday song right now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Well, yeah, 1 year. It's I can't believe it's been 1 year, considering 2020 went very fast and almost as a bit of a write-off, really.
Yeah, I mean, with all the things that went on in 2020, it was a really fast year. You know, we've been in lockdown, and obviously, again, we're in lockdown number 3.
Yeah.
You'd think the year would have gone slowly, being that you're at home a lot more and doing less.
Yeah.
Actually, 2020 zoomed through, which is a blessing as well, I think, to get that whole year out of the way. But yeah, it's been a whole year of just making stuff up as we go along.
I mean, I don't think when we started this January 2020, never in my mind would 90% of what we've done go across my head as, so we need to do this.
Yeah. I mean, we were discussing it in December.
Yeah.
I think wasn't it the end of December? We were having a conversation after a couple of drinks and going, next year is the year we're going to do this. We've got to get it started. We've been discussing it for too many years now to just keep sitting on our hands. Let's do it.
It was when you came to stay at Christmas.
Yes, it was. We were invited to your family gathering.
Yeah.
It was very weird.
It was great.
Yeah.
But before we go in...
It was a really good evening. I really enjoyed it. I don't want to speak because it kind of sounds like, I mean, if your mum listens to this or any of your family members or whatever, they're going to be like, we're going to invite him again. It was a really good evening. I really enjoyed the evening. And yeah, so carry on.
Honestly, I like the fact that usually I then have to say, because when we're recording for a podcast, I usually have to go, oh, you should have seen the moment of realization on Darren's face, but you guys can see it this time.
Yeah, so if you're listening on the podcast, you can actually watch this as a video. And you can see how we record this. It's literally, we do it via Zoom. So if there's any sound issues, it's because of Zoom. But head over to our YouTube channel and just type Catalyst Youth UK and it should pop up. It's probably one of the first ones, I think, if I remember rightly. So you can watch this, and hopefully there's going to be video clips in this one as well. So if you're listening on the podcast, there'll still be video clips, but obviously it'll be the sound clip because you can't visually see the podcast.
Yeah.
I just made that way too confusing.
I mean, some of the video clips we might not even put in the podcast. It might just be shorter, to be honest, and you'll just have to
watch both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll say if there's going to be a video. But anyway, if you want to contact us, you can. Our email addresses are antony@catalystyouth.org.uk, darren@catalystyouth.org.uk, or the email that we both read, which is info@catalystyouth.org.uk. And you can find our social media, other ways to contact us, our YouTube, blogs, things like that, all at our website at www.catalystyouth.org.uk.
And obviously you can see them at the bottom of the screen and at the top of the screen if you're watching.
Yeah.
Because we haven't done a video in ages. And
we haven't.
So you'll see it on the screen. Somewhere around here, I shall chuck it. So
in fact, I think...
Pointing around the screen. This is really...
I think 2021, I think you'll see a few videos that we recorded in 2020.
I've got a few backed up there. Just like, constipation. So it'll be like diarrhea over YouTube.
Wow. Before...
Oh dear, this is going to be brilliant.
Oh, it's going to be mad. But before we go any further, obviously, if you haven't listened to any of the past podcasts, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're listening to a podcast, go back and listen to them because we've had some great conversations, especially last week we had Megan on with us. That was great fun. I had a message from her feedback in saying that her boyfriend was genuinely in tears laughing at how much we roasted her.
Nice.
So, incredible.
We made someone cry.
Yeah,
Cool.
but in a good way.
In a good way. So yeah, so if you're interested to be interested in being part of our podcast, and you've got an interesting job, then let us know, because we'd love to pop you on. And
I mean, even if it's not an interesting job, that's what we're looking for at the moment. But if you have something where you think, I really want to tell people about this, contact us. I'm sure we can fit it in somewhere.
yeah, I mean, the main idea around it is we wanted to put across jobs that you wouldn't normally hear about. So if you go like to a careers fair, you'd see the usual of things like nursing and police, army, and all that, the usual run-of-the-mill kind of big jobs that people go for. But I mean, with Megan's as a people's barrister, was that it?
I think so.
Wow, I remembered.
I mean, go back and find out. You'll see if we got it wrong.
That's something you don't usually hear about. You know, you wouldn't usually have like a law firm at your careers fair, you know, trying to get you on board. So if you've got a job, any job really, we want to still interview you, as long as you don't mind having the mickey taken out of you, and vice versa. You're more than welcome to take the mickey out of us as well, because we can handle it.
I mean, that's one thing that we found last week with Megan is she gave it back as good as we gave, which was good.
She did, yeah. I think we could have been a little bit more brutal.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember? Did you watch SMTV?
No, don't think
No.
so.
So Ant and Dec, they did a challenge Ant thing, and it was because he was always brutal to the kids when they lost, but they gave it back when he lost. Yeah. Love that.
So obviously, if you're not listening to the podcast, head back and listen to them. And last week's is a special one because we had our first special guest on board. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll have a run of different ones, and we'll chuck them throughout the entire year on our podcast for you to listen to.
Yeah.
So Anthony, today, what is all today about?
Well, today, 1 year.
1 whole year. 365 days. Or was it a leap year last year?
I mean, yeah, but we also didn't really start until like, what was it, the 9th of January?
Yeah, but today's like the 11th. So
yeah, so we can't count the first 8 days.
No, but between when this comes out, it'll be over a year old.
Oh yeah.
And today's the 11th. So even if we did start on the 9th, we're like 367 days old now.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
See, when you leave school, you don't usually use maths that often. You know.
Oh, stay in school. But anyway, we are going to basically this YouTube video, this podcast, we're going to be looking back at Catalyst through the year. We'll be talking about some favourite moments. We'll be answering some questions. We've got some comments that people have sent in about Catalyst. And we've also got a special giveaway, which you will hear more about at the end. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, indeed. And also, if you've got any comments about Catalyst and what we've done over the year, leave them in the comments section on YouTube if you're watching this on there. Send us a message because obviously we don't mind feedback, positive or negative, either or. And negative we'll ignore, positive we'll say. But it gives us an idea whether we're doing it right, because we're just two blokes talking to each other and hoping that somebody's listening or somebody's watching. So literally, if you are out there, anybody, please comment. Please.
I mean, we've recorded this way too late because two blokes talking to each other would have been a perfect podcast name.
So running alongside our Catalyst Happy Hour-ish will be two blokes talking to each other.
That would have been incredible.
The new podcast, which is for over 18s only.
Yeah, that's just one where we watch film. But so we've got a few questions we're going to answer. As Darren said earlier, if you are watching on YouTube, you will see some clips of this. If you are not watching on YouTube, you might hear some of them. Some of them won't really work over the podcast, but we'll warn you when that's going to happen, so that you can actually go and check them out on YouTube afterwards.
Yeah. And also on YouTube, you will just see a short clip.
Yeah.
But we'll put links in the description, and those of you that are listening on the podcast, you can actually watch the full-size video of any moments that have really captured.
We won't make you sit through like a 10-minute video halfway through this video that's already
Yeah, it's just like pointless. So it'd be a short clip, but then there'll be a link to watch the entire bit if you really need to help you sleep.
But I think there's just one question that we should begin with.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're a year on. We've done more than we expected, and we'll come to that. I'm going to add that in as a question, actually.
Okay.
But why did we start Catalyst? What got us here?
Alcohol.
I mean,
no, honestly, I mean, it was a bit of alcohol.
It was, but
we were having a drink and chatting about it. But I think it was around about 5 years ago.
I mean, Catalyst must have been in the making for a good 6 years.
Yeah, we were discussing it at camp and said, you know what? Because there was all this, you go to camp, you have an amazing time at camp. So if you're interested, we're hoping to do one this year, 2021. Government rules will apply. And you just have an amazing time at camp.
Yeah.
And from that, as leaders, we all sat down and used to go, wouldn't it be great to do something like this all year round? To bring something like this together, to bring people together and and it was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Camp the following year came and we still hadn't done it. And then another camp came and another camp came. And it was kind of got to the point where me and Anthony sat down and going, do you know what? We've got to do it. Let's just crack on and get it done. Hence the birth of our baby, Dear Catalyst.
I mean, I think personally, we could probably pick out the year that it finally developed into something that wasn't a conversation. Was it 2018? We did our first youth camp where it was me and you.
Yeah, must have been. Yeah.
And I think that's the first time. And the reason I remember it being that is because we took all the people that were in attendance down to the beach, really sunny day. And Darren and I were sat on the wall, just looking at them all. We had some up there being sorted out because they'd fallen and hurt themselves.
Yeah, we had
others they were in, no idea what they were doing, really controlled. And we sat there and went, this is great.
I mean, that was a really good camp. I enjoyed that.
It was really good. But I think that was the first moment where we looked around and went, do you know what? We could do this.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we've always been assistant leaders at camp. We've never been organised runners of camps. I mean, I've done camps before with the Scout movement. So I knew what I was doing in that sense, I think. But we've never done a Christian camp together.
No.
Run and organised by just us.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work.
And I mean, we joke about it. Like I sit here and say, there's people up there, getting fixed up and not doing. We genuinely do take it seriously. Like, it doesn't come across here.
Yeah.
But it was one of those ones where we looked at it and went, something can come from this. And I think it was 2018 was the first time we went, what could it be?
Definitely. And it was moving on from there until 2019.
Yeah.
When we got together and decided, let's get it going next year. Let's do something about it. And Catalyst website, YouTube, Facebook, everything was all done via phone calls.
Yeah, it was.
FaceTime or using WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Because we never had Zoom. I never even heard of Zoom at that point. And we were just both had the password for things. So it would be like I would do something on the website and then Nancy would come in and go, yeah, like that, but let's move that to there and let's do that. And then from that kind of blossomed what we've got.
Yeah, and I think the thing I find strangest about it is we did talk about it for 6-7 years before. The actual Catalyst stuff, the logo, the website, sort of what plans we want to put in place, I think we did in a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, got me about that.
And it was then all there.
I think the name thing was a few conversations backwards and forwards going, what can we call it? And I can't remember who came. Was it me that came up with Catalyst, or was it?
I'd love to claim it, but it was you, and it wasn't only you that came up with the name, but before you'd even told me the name, you sent across the logo. So there was no.
What can I say? I was on the ball. But the thing is, it was like with a lot of things that have been happening with Catalyst, you've liked it as well. You've
Yeah.
suddenly gone, yes, from the name, the logo. When we had, you would have heard at the beginning of this video and podcast, our music, our little jingle. That, literally, you can go watch a reaction video to that as well, of us hearing it for the first time. We both loved it straight away.
Yes.
Everything just seems to be falling in. And I think that's one of the things that we've got to be thankful for, is that we're still talking to each other.
We are. And I mean, you'll hear about it later on in one of the questions, but there probably were times where we could have gone, I'm a bit done now.
Many times. Many times.
But it doesn't come across.
Yeah. They say you should never work with animals or kids. Just saying.
And we work with kids and each other. So
yeah. So there you go. It's all sorted.
But no, I think that leads us nicely on to the next question, though, that we've got in front of us.
Yeah.
And I think we've sort of touched on it, but that is what is key to keeping Catalyst going and somewhat successful. And the reason I put somewhat into that question is because I don't want to sit here and say, oh, what is it that keeps Catalyst successful? Because what do we rate that on? Like, yeah, we feel we're successful in the fact what we've done has brought people together, but we also can still say, I know where I want to go next. So
you got to think about that as well, is that how do you measure success? How can we measure that success? For me personally, it's literally, as long as I'm engaging one young person, it's a success to me.
Yeah. And
one of those things I had when I started my training to be a youth worker many years ago now. It's getting too many years. Every year that goes by, I'm like, oh, blimey, that was ages ago. But they said, as long as you are engaging that one person, you're doing your job right. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how many kids you've got in your group. Thing is, massive youth groups where you've got 100, 200 kids on the books and coming in, how can you make sure that every single one of those are having a good time and they're actually, you are feeding them with the gospel, or making sure that their time with you is the best time ever.
Yeah,
it's really hard. But if you've just got a few young people, then it becomes easier. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see 200 people or don't get me wrong there, but as long as I've got one person that's engaged, to me that is a success.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I mean, like, what is key to keeping it going is, as Darren said a minute ago, the fact we can communicate, the fact that it is taking both ideas, but also the fact that we're very much on the same page as where we want to see it go, what we want to see come from it. And that does help. But as Darren says about, as long as we're reaching at least one person, that is a success in our books. And we asked for comments from different people when we were thinking of planning this. And as we said, still send them to us, even though they won't be featured in this. We still love to hear them. But one of them, I'm not going to name people. Hopefully you'll know if it's your comment. But one of them actually said that what they've liked about Catalyst is, I didn't know my true self, but the youth work has shown me that. And Darren and I both read that one and went, wow.
Thank you. My job here is done.
Yeah. But that shows us that this idea that we had, there was a reason for doing it. And that's really cool.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't get feedback very much from young people. No. It's really hard. As long as they got a smile on their face, that's kind of like, I think it's working. Yeah. But to have comments like that come back, to have people say, do you know what, I really enjoyed that camp. It's really nice to hear for us as children's workers and family workers, whatever. So yeah, make sure you tell your youth workers that. If we're not your youth workers and you've just suddenly, for some strange reason, stumbled across this really weird two guys talking to each other video, go and tell your youth worker how much you've enjoyed the session.
Yeah.
Just a simple, like, tonight's session, I really enjoyed it, thanks for that. And then you go. It will make their day, guaranteed.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, okay. Here we go. This is the moment where hopefully we'll be able to show you a few things as well. But the question is, what has been your favourite moment over the past year?
My favourite moment.
And just to give anyone that doesn't know an idea of what we've done over the past year.
Here's to try and put in a short montage of what
Here we
we've done
go.
over the last year.
Have a watch of this.
Bye from him.
It's goodbye from him. See you soon.
Cheers.
And looking at that montage was just amazing. I hope, because we haven't made it yet. But it has been a crazy, crazy time of everything that we've done.
Yeah.
And, you know, thinking back at it, you know, looking, you know, we tallied it up. You know, 108 different things we've done on those, you know, on the YouTube, on podcasts and blogs. And I mean, I couldn't believe it. You know, it's like, actually, we've done quite a bit. In a year where we couldn't do nothing, we have done quite a bit.
And I think that's the thing, is when we first sat down to plan in January, we had sleepovers planned, we had camps planned, we had things like that. None of that has really been able to happen as we envisioned it. But we wouldn't have done a podcast if we weren't inside. We wouldn't have done a blog. We probably wouldn't have had as many YouTube videos. And we wouldn't have brought our youth groups together on a Wednesday, on a Sunday, on a Tuesday. For more information on that, contact us. Like we would have.
No, definitely. But out of all of those, then, what is your favourite moment?
Oh, it's such a difficult question. And I like that you turned it around on me so that I have to answer first.
Yeah, well, do you know what? You were chucking the questions at me. I thought, do you know what? Back at you, boy.
I mean, I've got many moments that I have loved. I'm not going to list them off because I don't want to take it if you pick it as a favourite moment. But I think for me, one of the highlights, I'm going to say two, because another one has just popped into my head. I'm really sorry. I'm going to say two, because I loved when we did the summer camp, we were set lots of different challenges. And one of those challenges was for Darren and I to wrap the books of the Bible.
Watch this clip.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, just to name a few. We got Numbers, Deuteronomy, we call all that something. Joshua, Judges, then a story about a girl named Ruth.
There you go.
They'll be able to hear, and the thing is, you will have been able to hear that on the podcast as well. But for the full video, head over to YouTube. But I think what I love most about that was genuinely, like, I think we did it in one take. We found the song, we did it in one take. Went, do you know what? That'll do. But we genuinely have fun doing it, and that was a challenge that one of the young people had given us, and we were then like, I feel like we have done well. And then we watched it back and realized we hadn't. But still, it was great fun to do.
We felt that we'd done well. I mean, that's the main thing. You know, in our heads, we did really well. When it came to editing it and sticking it on YouTube, it was like, not that good. But do you know what? We took on the challenge and
But I think another favourite moment of mine, and it could be classed for a lot of them, but it's the way we've seen our youth groups come together and the relationships built there. I mean, at the end of camp, we did an after-hours session. It wouldn't have been live on YouTube. It wouldn't have been live on Facebook, but you would have been able to join us on Zoom. We just played bingo. That was great fun. But also this Christmas, we did a nativity, and we got people to fill in the gaps of what they thought like the shepherds would be saying and the wise men would be saying. And it was great to see these young people and these leaders bouncing off each other, considering none of them have really met ever.
None of them have met face to face.
Yeah, I think the only people that have met are I've met your lot and you've met mine. We're the only.
That's the only link.
Yeah, and it's just been incredible to see that grow. And if you want to meet people face to face, Summer Camp 2021, we're going to keep plugging it. We're going to keep praying that it's going to happen this year.
Booking forms will be available 2 weeks before the actual event at this rate.
Yeah, just in case it doesn't go ahead.
So for those of you that already booked, you're on it. You're ready to go. Money's still in the bank account. We haven't swanned off to the Costa del Sol because we currently can't get a flight. Can't get a flight, so we've left the money in the bank.
But what's your favourite moment, Darren?
Oh, my favourite. Do you know what? It has to be the camp week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have two, like you.
Do it. I had to. Why not?
Yeah.
It's our podcast.
And our video. So if you don't like it, it's gonna be camp. Camp online. Although it was a logistical nightmare of converting my garage.
We'll come to that in the next question. Don't go too much
into a film studio or like a filming studio, as it were. But it was that whole week. It was the people we were engaging, and it was like that very first video. Once it finished the live, and we turned everything off, locked the garage up, went indoors, had a drink, sat down, and over that week, kind of looked at the videos and saw, hang on, this has 161 people have engaged in this video, and it's like. We haven't got that many young people in our groups to that matter. It's like, who's watching this video? And the numbers just went up and up of people watching it. They may have not watched all of it. They may not have enjoyed it. But we were still engaging somebody. And I would hope out of those entire people that watched it, somebody actually did watch it to the end.
Yeah.
So that entire week has to be one of the best moments. I had a lot of fun doing it.
It was great.
And although it wasn't like our usual camp, it was like camp because that was how we were on those videos is how we are on camp. There was no difference.
Yeah.
We were bouncing back off each other as we usually do.
Yeah. And it gave us a week to do Catalyst. It was the first full week we did face to face doing Catalyst. We got the t-shirts, we got everything.
Yeah. And I think, didn't we put that all together in like a week or 2 weeks?
Yeah. So we decided to do Garage Edition camp. It was the end of July we actually did it, wasn't it? And I think it was the second week in July that we said, should we do it?
Yeah, because we kind of thought we need to do something. I think was our thing. We got to do something. And what you saw or what you can go back and see, because they're all still on here.
Yeah.
Or on our YouTube channel if you're listening, is what they got. And I thought, that was a really good week. I really enjoyed myself.
I did.
We didn't get time to go and play golf.
We didn't. I even had my clubs in the car and everything. It was so annoying. But can we just, before we move on from camp, I don't think we've done it before, and I feel like we should. I know we did it on the YouTube videos, but on this podcast now, can we just shout out to Brendan because he was incredible as our tech guy, considering
He was amazing as a tech guy. I mean, the odd times you'll probably see on the videos it went wrong.
Yeah.
But for a 10-year-old, just sorting out the tech. I mean, he was just pressing buttons and making sure everything was all right on his end, and doing the sound effect when we got comments or things like that. Was just amazing, you know. And without him, it would have been more difficult.
It would have been hard work. It would have been hard work. So I just felt like we needed to chuck that out there because we haven't mentioned him on the podcast. So
no, we haven't. So that's my son, by the way. If nobody knows. Great guy.
Does he even listen to the podcast?
No. I think he did once or twice, but then he was like, "Nah, this is not for me."
He'll watch the video.
Yeah. So my second moment, top moment, has got to be. It's between two. I'm trying to think of which one to go for. I'm going to go for the Laurel and Hardy. Way Out West. What is it? Was it Way Out West?
Way Out West. Yeah.
Way Out West.
Here's a clip of that.
So there you can see two blokes making fools out of themselves. I think
I mean, again, can we just say full videos on the YouTube for that as well? You don't have none of these. You have to scroll through the actual camp videos. They have been pulled out and uploaded as single videos.
Yeah, and we'll literally go to the description below or if you're on YouTube, and you can actually click on a link, or I think I can put it up in the corner up here somewhere. So one of these corners it goes in. Yeah, I mean, it was one of the most stressful times of my life. More the fact that I was getting frustrated with myself, because that's you. I mean, just watching it, you think there's not a lot of moves, but actually, it's that whole comic routine in there.
Yeah, and it. The problem we had was to learn it. We were watching the video, which meant it was mirrored to us. So I would step left when Darren would step right, and it was all.
Yeah, it just went. I mean, we were doing this in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I think possibly I'll insert the clip here of the practice routine, because that is unseen footage. So a bit of unseen footage going on here, guys. Yeah, I'll insert that on here now so you can have a look at that.
Oh, they're going. Oh. What is that? Oh, back in. Oh! I was holding your hands up the steps.
And yeah, so you could see what fools were bumping into each other, going the wrong way. But although it was stressful and I was getting angry with myself, and I think that was the hottest day.
I was just about to say, I think that was the hottest day of the week that we did that.
Yeah, you were wearing my winter coat.
Yeah.
I was wearing my suit jacket. We both had hats on, so we're fully insulated on the hottest day in the garden, in my back garden, doing this dance routine.
Yeah.
But the final product, after editing and making it look old and everything,
yeah,
I absolutely love it.
Oh, it's brilliant. And
Watch
I
it.
mean, I grew up watching Laurel and Hardy. That challenge was actually sent in by my dad. And it was fun to do something that I recognized, even though you didn't.
I had never seen that before in my life.
But we did watch that the next time you came and visited. We watched the whole film of it.
Yeah, later that summer or later last year, wasn't it? We was when we were allowed to go away.
Yeah,
went down your way to have a short break. We won't call it a holiday. We'll call it a short break because it wasn't a holiday. But yeah, we watched it again, and it was like, oh, okay, this is where it's all coming from.
Yeah.
And literally, your dad's got the whole box set, hasn't he, of Laurel and Hardy? So yeah, so those were my two moments. So the whole of camp and the whole Laurel and Hardy.
I mean, I was also going to pick the Laurel and Hardy one over the rap video, so I'm glad I didn't, because it meant we got both in there. But my next question... Oh, yeah. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, the other one that I was going to say was making a cake. But if you want to see that again, the link's in the description. Watch that one of us making a cake blindfolded.
Yeah, that was...
messy.
That was incredible. And when you are watching that one, I'd just like to put out a warning. Please don't use a knife blindfolded. We
were under supervision by an adult, so it was fun.
Oh, even if you're under supervision by an adult, don't use a knife blindfolded. But anyway, we've sort of touched on this question as well.
Okay.
But have we felt any stress or doubt while being part of Catalyst, other than recording the Laurel and Hardy video?
I'm
happy to start this one. I don't think I've experienced any doubt while we've been Catalyst. No. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've gone, oh, this isn't working at all. There has been times where we've planned something, we've then gone to do it, and both of us have gone, it's not really working, is it? But we've never really doubted it in the fact that it was a rubbish idea. It was just one that we needed to try. Stress, on the other hand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I did find quite stressful is when we were trying to chuck out YouTube videos, trying to do one a week.
Yeah.
That got stressful.
Yeah.
Because it's not one thing that the podcasts are really easy to do. We just turn up, we talk, I can quickly edit them and upload them. It's quite simple because it's just a matter of perhaps increasing the sound and chopping it and putting things together. Absolutely easy peasy. Can do it within about an hour and upload it. It's done. It's basic stuff. And obviously we don't sound amazing like, the professional podcasts where they get sent off for whatever they do and mess around with them. But editing videos and also trying to continue to do work stuff. And I think we were doing blogs at the time as well. We were trying to cram so much into one week, as well as, because obviously Catalyst is run alongside our job roles as well.
Yeah.
So we both work for churches, and then we come together in the form of Catalyst, but as well as our churches as well. So yeah, it was a juggling act. And because obviously I had all the software, I had to do it all.
Correct.
So for me, that got really stressful. And then when we decided actually we're easing back on the YouTube videos to do one once in a while, which is quite nice because it's less work to do. It became less stressful. But yeah, also again with sessions that we do on a Tuesday, Wednesday and Sunday as well, they can become quite stressful, but in the sense of not knowing what to do with them on a Wednesday and that, because we've been doing this, it'll be a year come March, April time.
Yeah.
And we're exhausting the list of things to do. There's only so much you can do online with young people, with you guys watching.
Yeah.
To the point where we're going, well, I don't really want to repeat stuff, but we have to, because there isn't anything else. And
Yeah.
actually, we had a discussion last week with them, the young people, about, you know, what do you want to see happen on Wednesday or Tuesday? And I don't know why we didn't do that before, because they came back and went, yeah, well, we want to do this. And then we've gone, actually, everything you've said has just completely covered the whole of a half term and beyond.
We're up until Easter. Like,
Yeah. And the same with our Tuesday and Bible study groups.
yeah.
They've come up with the idea, or I say they, only one person turned up for that planning session, but hey ho, it was still one person. Young person, that is. We had plenty of adults, we had enough adults to have like 100 kids. But yeah, and that person came up with the idea and it's kind of gone, actually, we can do that. That's absolutely fine. We took notes, and we're up to Easter again with that as well, aren't we? If I remember rightly.
We're up to Easter with all our groups. And it'd be great for you to join us if you haven't before. So you can find details of them on our Instagram and Facebook and things like that. So go and check them out.
Instagram and Facebook, what's it called? Tag? Yeah, whatever. It's on the top of the screen.
Yeah.
And if you're middle class, Twitter's down the bottom.
Yeah. But yeah, I think for me, the most stress we felt, I'd agree, is probably in the groups. And it's more the fact we've not only joined 2 groups together, we've joined 2 groups that are a range of ages. And it's making sure that we are reaching every person at the ability that they need and that we can easily supply for them. And I feel like we've done well at it. I feel like we have got there. There have been times where we finished a session and gone, do you know what? I don't think that really worked today because of the people we had there, but let's move it to like a Tuesday when we have older people there. So I think that's where I felt the most stressed, but I wouldn't say any of it has really been stressed to the point that I've gone, we need to take a break from it.
No.
And that's really good. That's really good.
I've never been that stressed.
No.
It's just been, I think if we had, say, 3 levels of stressness, I would say I've been at a number 1, possibly nearly a number 2, but mostly at number 1 with stuff. I've never gone up to, DEFCON 5 and alarms going off and like I'm going to have a mental breakdown in a minute.
Number 2 was trying to set the sound and tech up for summer camp, but let's move away from that. Let's move away from. We did have another comment sent to us regarding Catalyst this year.
Good one.
Pardon?
Is it a good comment?
None of them are bad ones. We didn't receive any bad ones.
Cool. They got put in the bin where they belong.
But they've said that what they've liked about Catalyst is the fact that we're being able to still talk to people on Zoom, even though we're stuck inside. And even in those moments that Darren and I have said we felt stressed bringing the groups together, that's what we need to remember, is that we are still providing for this time that maybe there isn't so much going on. And it's really, really nice to hear that that's being recognised and that is the bit they've liked.
Yeah, I mean, we've literally, from the point of lockdown coming into place, I think we've only had, was it after the first week we managed to get groups together? I can't remember when we first started with.
We've been doing it a while now.
Yeah, but it's got to be March. I would say it's beginning of April we brought our groups together. Say
it was Easter.
It
was Easter,
and we did it. We battled through and got on with it and tried to provide something in a time where everything stopped. Which I think is amazing, and we're still doing it now. We've hashtag lockdown number 3, and we're still doing it. I have yet to go back to the building to be one-to-one with young people. I know you managed to get into.
We managed to get one group back and then stopped and then back and then stopped.
How many weeks did you manage to get your group back in the building? I know you met outside for a bit.
We did 3 weeks in the building, then it stopped, and then we did another 4, I think.
Okay.
Maybe another 3. But we've probably added together, we've probably done just over a month.
In 12 months, nearly.
12 months.
So I think that's amazing.
So it's worked really well. And the next question, sort of, we've answered in all of them, but it's just has anything happened that was really unexpected? And we said about one of our young people saying that they didn't know their true self, and that you've shown them that was unexpected.
Mm.
But I think it's also the fact it's quite unexpected the things we have done this year. The fact, as I said earlier, that we've done podcasts, we've done blogs, because we wouldn't have. It's one of those things that just really wouldn't have happened, I don't think.
I think the blogs would have.
Yeah.
I think the blogs definitely probably would have happened. Podcasts, probably not. YouTube videos,
yeah,
maybe. I mean, we started doing YouTube ones for Youth Alpha.
Yeah.
We did recap ones for those that couldn't make it, and that's how the YouTube one started, wasn't it?
I watched the very first one of them earlier on, not the whole thing, just the beginning, because I was looking at it going, oh, could we use a bit of this? And we definitely look a lot more and sound a lot more comfortable now than when we did then. I mean, go and have a look at it. Is
it cringing?
Yeah, we're too serious.
Oh, okay.
We're too serious.
But I think that comes with anything. When you first start doing something, you want it to work so much that you've got your back up, and it's like, yeah, this has got to work. And then suddenly you kind of like chill out, and like now, whereas before I wouldn't have a drink whilst, doing a video, but now, it's just juice, by the way, not alcohol.
I got tea next to me, so we're all good. It's probably cold now.
Yeah, have a drink. Have a slurp. I've been here a while already.
Cold now.
Okay.
But
what was the question?
Well, is there anything unexpected that's happened over the past year with Catalyst?
For me, it was Camp Online. And I think we mentioned that earlier. That was completely unexpected. Even with the lockdown, we were hoping and praying that we'd still be able to go away with the young people.
Yeah.
Actually, that wasn't going to happen at all. Especially when you look at the numbers of people catching COVID at the moment. It's astronomical.
And it didn't help that the venue that we have got booked is technically owned by a school. So when that school shut, there was no chance that was happening.
Yeah, and we started going a bit of a panic mode as well, weren't we? Like, we can't get hold of them. Are we going to have our deposit back? Are we not going to deposit back? Is the booking still going ahead? Is it not going ahead?
That was stressful.
Yeah. But setting up camp and trying to work out what we had to do was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've never done it before. So, I've got the boxes are still down there that we're going to have forevermore now. Like the soundboard.
I mean, I got the easy end of it because the time that you were setting up, I was just driving to Somerset.
So it was like soundboard, lighting, microphones, overhead microphone, camera, laptops. Because I mean, if you go back to watch the video on YouTube, if you're listening on the podcast, jump over and have a nosy after. But you can see that we had it set up that we were live on Facebook and YouTube on the main camera.
Yeah.
Then like down here, we were live on Instagram.
We had 3 Instagrams.
Of your church, Instagram from my church, Instagram of Catalyst. So, I mean, the hilarious part...
And Zoom.
And on the laptop, we had Zoom. The most hilarious part of it all is the saying of goodbyes. It's like, right, it's goodbye from you guys. It's a goodbye to you guys. It's goodbye to you guys. And goodbye to you guys. You guys on Zoom, you stay there because we've got more to show you in a second. It was like...
Yeah.
But it was a learning experience.
It was.
And it meant that actually, do you know what? We provided something during the summer when a lot of other groups didn't.
Yeah.
And if we are in lockdown or in some sort of thing that we can't take young people away this summer, we're fully prepared.
We can do it again.
We've got the stuff.
Yeah.
But I just change things around and whatnot.
Yeah, we'll change the name. It'll be a different theme, that type of thing.
And I mean, also, one of the things I didn't think about at the time, but could have done, is that I could have set up a studio at the actual church because we could have gone over there to do it.
But the reason we did your garage is because it was the garage edition.
Yeah, so I mean, if we can't do it, then ideas down below where we could go film.
Yeah, it was boiling in that garage, maybe somewhere else.
We had one fan and we had to keep the door shut.
Yeah.
And have a blanket over the door to stop the light from coming in and reflecting.
Yeah. Oh, there were moments, weren't there, where it was too hot. I smashed my phone one day. It fell off the side of the sofa and hit Darren's concrete garage floor.
Oh yeah, a bit of carpet just literally covered where the sofa was.
Yeah.
Down to the side was concrete floor. So if you dropped it in front, it probably would have survived, but it went to the side.
But my phone's usually in a case, but where we had it on the stand to film, it wasn't in a case. I picked it out of the thing, put it on the side, it fell on the floor. It all went wrong.
But that actually was a week where you were due for an upgrade anyway.
It worked out perfectly. I got a new phone 2 days later.
Yep, sorted. Well done, EE. The video sponsored by EE.
But yeah, no, it has been good. And I mean, we had another comment from someone saying that they enjoy the podcast and listening to the two of us bouncing off each other because it can be really amusing. But they also said they enjoyed doing the summer camps online because at times we were hilarious to watch. And they've just said, keep up the good work, boys. And it's really nice to hear.
Hilarious the entire time. I don't know what they're talking about. Have you seen us with pegs on our faces, or when we were doing each other's makeup? Again, go back and watch them.
Go back and watch it. But it's really nice to hear that, to keep up the good work, because hopefully we are doing good work. And
yeah.
But anyway, we're coming near the end of our 1 year celebration.
I can hear the people watching and listening to this going, thank goodness.
Yeah, but we got one more question.
One more, okay.
Before we do end. And it's, what would we like to see happen with Catalyst in the future? And when I say the future, I reckon if we think about this next year,
okay,
rather than 5-year plan.
Okay. Well, for me, I would like to see more people join.
Yeah.
More churches, because I mean, our ethos is to bring churches together.
Yeah.
Youth group churches together, children's group youth, and just bring them together. So I'd like to see perhaps a couple more churches join us on this epic journey. Yeah. And, we could even have a 3-person podcast or 4-person because at the end of the day, this is not for us, it's for the young people.
That's the thing. And if you're a youth worker listening and you want to get involved, or a youth families worker, youth pastor, whatever your title is, and you want to get involved, contact us because we'd love it. Yeah,
definitely. Obviously, as long as you're in the UK.
Yeah.
We don't need a pen pal.
No, can we actually, let's just go back a little bit. Anything unexpected? For me, our blogs, our podcasts, our website, we're reaching people in the US. Yeah. We're reaching people in New Zealand. Like we get a notification when someone goes on the website and it tells you where they're from. And it's mad, some of the countries that pop up.
Yeah. It's crazy, those things, because obviously with the podcast you can go on to a section there where it tells you where it's been listened to, how many people have listened to it. Analytics, that's the word I was looking for. And it's just absolutely crazy to think people are listening to this somewhere, like in America or in Australia or things. It's like, why? We're Catalyst Youth UK, but thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying it, and we're so glad you can join us. And as of this moment, I will not be taking any or taking the nick out of the USA, seeing as you're like nearly our highest listeners. So go USA. Great news. A couple of weeks time, guys.
But yeah, we'd love to see people join us. That would be great to see this year.
Anything else I'd like to see?
I think what I'd like to see, along with it, sort of goes along lines with people joining us, is you guys listening, the young people listening. Let us know what you want to do. Take ownership of Catalyst because it is for you, and we are happy to try and provide where we can something for you that you've asked for. I'd love to see some more interaction there. Like we can plan, we can put stuff in place, but you guys can as well.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're here for, because if you want it to happen, we'll try our best to try and make anything happen within reason, obviously.
Yeah.
But it is yours, because at the end of the day, if you weren't coming to the events, doing anything with us, then we wouldn't be doing this video a year later. We would have gone, do you know what? That was the worst idea ever.
We would have. And that's the thing. And if we can get other people to join us, there's no saying that 5 years time or whatever, we might leave. But you guys will stay.
We will hand over the keys to Catalyst.
But yeah, so join us, send us ideas. That's what I want to see happen. Yeah.
Can I just say one thing though before we go into the wrap up? Are we going into the wrap up now?
I reckon so. Unless
cool. Is stay tuned, because you got a chance to win a really cool T-shirt of your color choosing.
Yeah, you can
choose the color,
but it'll be in. Am I pointing the right way? Yeah.
Wow.
It'll be in that style, I think.
It's kind of style with the logo. You get this, and then at the back, but you get a special one because it will say as established 2020 just under this bit here, which nobody, not even us, have got that under this.
We haven't got one.
One of a kind. You never know, there may be one or two given away. At the moment, it's just one. But stay tuned for that in a second. But just a thank you to all the young people and not so young people that have joined us over the last year. I mean, I know we've got some older youth, like adults, that listen to our podcast. Thank you for supporting that. Thank you to all of you watching at home now on YouTube for supporting us on YouTube. Thank you to those of you who have read the blogs, liked our images on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that. I know we're pretty rubbish at Twitter. Because to be honest, we don't get much interaction, so that's why we're rubbish on there.
We might make that a bit more, make an effort this year.
Yeah, but thank you, because without you, this couldn't be possible. We wouldn't be able to run Catalyst, and it'd just be a waste of time. So thank you for joining in with us, because I have had a really good time over the last year, and being one half of Catalyst.
Yeah,
as it says on my Instagram.
I've got that on mine as well.
And hopefully you've enjoyed it as well. I think you have, by the sounds of those lovely comments that we've got there. Again, fill in the comments down below on this video. Email us, text us, say it to our faces when we can see you face to face. Of how you're feeling about Catalyst, how you're feeling about our youth work, because we can all improve. If there's something, we know when things aren't going right, and without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. So for me, and I'm sure Anthony agrees as well, a big thank you for you guys for joining in, especially on summer camp.
Yeah. I'm not going to say a big thank you. I'm just going to say what he said, because I agree. Thanks.
Yeah.
But before we finish, as we said at the beginning and as we've said throughout, we have got a special 1 year giveaway where you can win your very own Catalyst Youth UK t-shirt with a one of the kind established 2020 logo on there, as well as it has the to our Instagram and Facebook on the back of the t-shirt, so you can direct people in a way to go if they want to know where it's from.
Yeah.
But to do that, you do have to do something. We're not just giving it away. We're not just randomly picking a name out of a hat. You do have to do something.
We ain't that nice.
No. Well, we were at camp
for it.
2 names out of a hat. But they have to spell a word as well. But this time you have to answer a question, okay? And you can send us the answer. The question is, Darren will give you more details on that in a second. But the question is, how many podcasts, blogs, and YouTube videos have we done as Catalyst Youth UK in 2020? Okay?
Just 2020.
Just 2020. So, are we going to give a bit of a clue into what ones didn't happen in 2020, or do they need to work that out?
New Year's Day, obviously, did not happen in 2020. That was 2021. The Megan podcast was 2021. This one you're listening to or watching now is 2021. And then that's it. Oh, and there's a blog that is coming out tomorrow. when this goes live on today. Obviously, don't include that one. So all the rest include, but apart from those.
Yeah, so count for the podcast, count anything before New Year's Eve. For the YouTube videos, count anything before this. And for the blog, count anything before tomorrow's. Simple as that. Add them all together. Tell us how many we've done.
Yes. Also, there are some terms and conditions. Do not call after the closing date or you still may be charged. The rule is that you have to like us on one of our media outlets. Therefore, you must either be a subscriber to this channel
on YouTube,
follow us on Instagram, or like us on Facebook. I'm trying to get the one.
That's correct.
Those are the three. One of those you have to be part of, okay? And we will be checking that from those names that have been put in. So just go and click on the likey button down here and the subscribey button, and then the follow and the likey ones over on the other media outlets, okay?
If you're already doing it, you can ignore that.
Yeah, if you've already done that, don't worry about it, okay? And it's easy to find the answer. Literally, head over to our podcast on whatever platform you're on, and you can just count them. Or you can just look at the hashtag number 17, 18, 19, whatever it may be. Head over to our YouTube channel. Give us a like anyway if you haven't already done so, like a subscribe. See how many videos are about there. Or head over to our website and have a little look around. You never know. You may find something there.
You may find something.
Wind back this video because I already mentioned the answer.
Twice. You may also find it somewhere else.
Yeah, check out a blog tomorrow.
Yeah, if you read something carefully.
And there is another term and condition before we go any further. And that is obviously you need to know when to contact us.
Correct.
We are only accepting entries on one day. One day. We are not going to be kind and do 2 days. One day.
One day.
Don't get that many people come. We may extend it to 2 days. But at the moment, it's 1 day. Okay? And that is on Monday, the 18th of January. Anytime that day, text, email, direct message, whatever, to either of us on Catalyst or whatever, wherever you can get hold of us, send us your name and your answer. And
so, to repeat, the deadline is 3 days from now, not counting today.
So 2.5.
Monday. Sunday, then Monday.
Monday the 18th.
But there's no time limit on that. It is all day Monday. You can send answers in.
Anthony wouldn't let me do a time limit. I said, can we just give him an hour window? He said no.
Well, I think we'll get more people to enter if there's not a time limit, and it means we don't have to remember the time.
Yeah, true. But when the time come up in the message, though.
Yeah, but I meant more like we wouldn't have to bother checking. We can just check at the end of the day on Monday.
Well, we could because it would just have the time on the message that was sent.
Anyway, we're not having a time limit. It's on Monday. Monday, the 18th of January. So the question to repeat is how many podcasts, blogs, and YouTube videos have Darren and I created as Catalyst Youth UK in 2020? Send us them any way you can contact us on Monday, the 18th of January, and we will be announcing the winner in the following podcast on the Friday.
Indeed.
Also, if you
that person that won will get a notification before then.
Yeah.
You'll need to get the size they want and the colour they want so we can get it sorted and posted direct to you.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you've won, you will have found out already because we will message you. We're not going to make you send answers in by Monday and then make you wait till Friday because we want to get it sorted as well.
Yeah.
But remember, follow our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube, or like our Facebook. You just have to do one of them, but we need one of them so we can see that you really do like us.
Yeah. And if you're watching this and you've just realised, oh, these guys have got a podcast, head over to either Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts or Google Play, and type in Catalyst Happy Hour-ish, and you'll find our podcast there. For those of you that already listen to our podcast, again, thank you. And I think that is it.
We are, and I'd just like to just finish by saying, well, no, just a very quick one before we say goodbye. We apologise if you're on YouTube. We apologise if you're on the podcast if at times it seemed a bit confusing. It's been a while since we've done on both, so hopefully you've enjoyed it and it's made sense.
So, are we done now?
We are done.
We are done.
1 year done.
1 year over and done with. Drop mic, walk out room. So, for our last time in a year that we've done it, and then we're still going to continue anyway. So it's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from him. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.